Hello everyone, I'm Scruffy at Scruffy Tales, and welcome back to the War Zone. And in this video we will be taking a look at the fact that Sweden has announced that it will supply Ukraine with Combat Boat 90. So we'll explain what that is and what that might mean for Ukraine. So Sweden will supply Ukraine with 10 Combat Boat 90, 20 attack boats, and an undisclosed number of underwater attack craft. Each Combat Boat 90H can transport up to 18 fully equipped soldiers per boat. Sweden relies on the Combat Boat 90 to defend the thousands of islands that make up the Swedish archipelago. Armed with up to 350 cal machine guns, it can assault an island at full speed and come to a complete stop in less than 2 boat lengths. Fast, agile, and maneuverable, it will allow Ukraine swift transport across the Dnipro to supply and support Ukrainian troops fighting to liberate occupied territory along the hostile shorelines of the river. Designed based on 1,000 years of warfare in the Baltic archipelago, where small, nimble boats carrying heavy firepower as well as deadly warriors has proven to be decisive in battles on the Baltic Sea. The Combat Boat 90 also relies on lessons learned from island-to-island warfare in Finland during World War II. A fast, powerful and deadly assault vessel built and designed for rapid redeployment and lightning raids, a concept known in Sweden as Strandhugg, shore strike, the lightning raids favored by the Vikings of old. 10 may sound like a small number, but once Ukraine has learned to master the Combat Boat 90, trained by Swedish Marines and coastal Jaegers, these 10 vessels could lead the way to liberate southern Ukraine. Ukraine will receive one of the world's most powerful vessels along any coastline, a modern Viking longship. The most likely usage of these Combat Boat 90 will be to support Krinky and other beachheads along the Dnipro. The Combat Boat 90 will provide fast transport across the dangerous open waters of the Dnipro and will allow Ukraine to transfer a lot of troops and equipment over the river quickly and efficiently. Krinky is said to be held by about 300 troops, give or take, at any one time. And with 10 Combat Boat 90, you can in no time at all get 180 troops over the Dnipro in one move. With these 10 Combat Boat 90, Ukraine could swiftly strengthen their hold on Krinky and even begin to expand their control as more troops are being brought in. And when enough troops are across, the Combat Boat 90 can be used to get anti-tank weapons, mortars, and heavy machine guns across as well, never mind ammunition and other supplies. There is also the perhaps least likely option, and that would be for Ukraine to launch an amphibious assault on this here peninsula that we are about to highlight, or so I thought. Why doesn't this work? Here we go. Sorry for that. This peninsula here, you have Kherson and you have Krinky over here. However, there is a chance that Ukraine could, from Ochakiv, launch an assault across the water at Pokrovske. And part of that assault could be this island here. It's a bit unclear who is in control of it, if it's Russia or Ukraine, but from Ochakiv, you see here they have a lot of ports here. You could launch an assault against this island. Take a look. well built. You have ports, you have buildings, you have everything. So this could be a staging ground for further assaults down to the mainland down here. And as you can see here, the shoreline is very well suited for an amphibious assault. You have these shallow beaches all following the entire coastline. So you can launch an assault wherever you want with a boat, a vessel like the Combat Boat 90. So if you go full speed across the water, you can come to a full stop within just 2 boat lengths. And then, as you can see here, where US Marines are training on the Swedish vessel, you jump out the front and you have boots on the ground. So I mean, lightning raid in the cover of darkness at night, whatever, and you get 10 of these to approach the shoreline, and all of a sudden you have 180 troops running ashore and securing a beachhead, potentially. And Russia is actually a bit concerned about this, because this is the peninsula I was talking about. And in this area here is where they have set up coastal defenses in the shape of trench lines. So this shoreline here, over here, close to the delta, river delta, is where they have the main defenses in place. But they have also, as you can see here, built sharply across here, this small bottleneck here. So they are defending this area because the Russians fear a crossing at this location here, and they also are afraid that Ukraine might get across here and grab this peninsula, and that is why they have built defenses at the bottleneck. They know they can't defend the entire coastline here, that would be too difficult, so they have focused on holding here, where it's more easy to defend, and you can move in all the artillery and what you want to help in the defense. So Russia more than likely expects Ukraine to try and grab this peninsula. So that is why they've built, as you can see here, the red lines here, pink lines, and that represents fortifications like we see here. So yeah, it's not unlikely that Ukraine might try and attempt to use the combat boat 90s to get across the open sea and get troops on ashore here on this peninsula. But like I said, more than likely they will be used upriver to support Krinky. But you never know. You never know. They have options. And with the combat boat 90, they sure as hell have options to launch an assault across the sea right here. So what does Russia think of the combat boat 90? I'm sure the trolls will have a thing or two to say about the vessel. But if we take a look at the Russian, is it Raptor they call it? It's a clear-cut copy of the combat boat 90. It's slightly larger, can carry more troops, and I believe it's even a bit faster, to be honest. But as you can see, the concept, the main design, everything, I mean, it's the same. They just took the combat boat 90 and made it slightly bigger. And then you had a Russian combat boat that they call Raptor. Works just exactly the same. Same concept. They just stole the design, basically. So clearly, Russia thinks that the combat boat 90 is pretty awesome. And yes, it is very awesome, and that is why they copied it, and that is why I do believe that Russia, at this point, is kind of a bit worried what Ukraine might attempt with 10 combat boat 90 at their disposal. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens this year. If Ukraine has already trained on them, maybe they will receive them in a month or so, or if they're gonna send troops up to Sweden to start training now, who knows? We'll see what happens. Well, but all that said, I'll see you in the next one, and Have a good one.